made the Wellington Cup your own, really? How many times?
Yeah, I won it five times, yes. The biggest disappointment was, it was great sensation 3 times, 3 consecutive, from 61, 62, 63, and then Arkwall, I think Arkwall was the first one, and then City Court, 3, yeah, that's right, well 3 on that, and then City Court and Arkwall, yeah.
Did you have a favourite track, like was Trentham?
Oh, Trentham. I rate Trentham equal at any track in Australasia.
The Champagne Turf saw 2 further top Skelton associations in the form of Showgate and Grey Way, though Bob admits he was surprised to get the ride on Showgate at all.
I asked for the ride honour in the Wellington Cup, but he put his own rider on, and she was a very, very desperately unlucky second in the Wellington Cup, and a horse called My Good Lord won it, beat her, and he went on and won another Wellington Cup and won a Sydney Cup and won tremendous races. So it just shows you the calibre of the sort of horse that she was.
100 metres from home on the wait for Age of Enton, Barnamo and Bruce Compton still carting them along, and they started to edge away again. At the 700 metre mark from Master Morgan in second placing Thomas Malay, and there goes Showgate now. She's given rein to go up and around that pair, gets up and about equal second placing, only about 2 lengths behind Barnamo. Showgate in second last placing, quiet by the tail ender.
She won the race, and I knew there was something desperately wrong with her, and I got off her, and she was just hobbling. I had to lead her back to the weighing enclosure, and there was a real hush all over the crowd, you know, that something had happened to Showgate, because she'd won, and ran a race record.
Basically on 3 legs.
On 3 legs, you know. So I mean, it just showed you the heart and the determination. Her will to win was just outstanding.
Now Showgate being out for effort. Barnamo, her rider Bruce Compton has gone for the stick, and Showgate, Bob Skelton's flat out on her, but she's surely edging up. She hasn't done it yet at the 200, but she's about to and going to do so. And Showgate now, he takes the stick to her very slightly, though she's put her head in front and starts to come away. And the great mare Showgate, after second in the couple of first days, she's won it today. 2.5 lengths from Barnamo, about 2 away, Showgate third.
From one champion to another, and again fate played a big part in Bob's first association with Grey Way.
I was at Bill's at Levin this time, and the phone rings, and it's Peter South, and I answer the phone.
You answer the phone and stole the rider from...
He'll never live that in.
I don't blame him. I'd be upset too.
Yeah.
God,
He rang for Bill to ride, and I said, Bill's on there. No.
But he was.
No, he wasn't. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Yeah. I said, oh, well, there, that teaches for going out. Leave me to answer the phone.
Amazing. Right place, right time.
That's
big
right.
Opportunity.
Well, that's what happens. Changes history. Oh, Grey Way was just an amazing horse, and I must tell you the little thing that happened at Trentham this day. He'd won that race three years in a row, and he's walking around the barrier, and people were sort of able to get round the barrier position there. And I couldn't help but overhear these 2 ladies were talking, and of course Grey Way had a club foot, and when you were walking him, he'd always sort of knuckle and hobble a little bit on this. And I'd just recovered from a broken leg. And you should have seen it. You can imagine the 2 of us getting around. I'm hobbling around, and Grey Way's hobbling around, and these people were saying, well, Grey Way looks sore. He's not walking very well at all. And his jockey doesn't look any better. Isn't it a shame? They shouldn't be riding. Well, Grey Way would go into it, and that's how he'd walk round behind the barrier. But when he went into a starting gate, honestly, he just seemed to pump himself up. He just seemed to be, you know, and when those gates open, I've never ridden a horse that can come out of gates quicker than him. He's an amazing horse. And then you just put him where you wanted him, and you go to sleep on you.
Wheel break from the East is now Master Plan listed altogether, lost 3 or 4 lengths. Mercure didn't bounce too well, neither did Fagan's Boy. And it's Tudor Light and Sheffield's Pride and Vice Regal and Patronise streaking up on the outside. Greyway is tracking him round, Soliloquy on the outside of him.
Coming to the furlong, there was just absolutely no room whatsoever to go anywhere. He's just buried in the field, and he's trying to look for an opening. And I'm saying, hey, listen, mate, hey, we can't go there. And I'm at the point of trying to restrain him. And all of a sudden, whether he touched the horse on the rump or what I don't know, but it just opened. He saw daylight, and he just shot through 16 and a half kilos. That would be, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best mile fields I've ever seen or I've ever ridden against. That field that day. Why, those were great horses.
Command, the favourite is plugging on. His Sheffield's Pride backing a bit. Tudor Light flying through on the rails by Regal in command down towards the post. Tudor Sheffield's Pride and Tudor Light, and here's Greyway coming with gigantic stride, and so is Kiwi Cam, and Greyway has thrust his way through. Now there's a photo. Greyway.
Well, Arkworth was probably one of the great horses I rode, but one of the most disappointing too, because he was the horse that really got me an awful lot of trouble over in Australia, because he just didn't perform.
That was when you first came over to Australia, wasn't it?
It was my first visit to Australia. That was about must have been 56, I suppose.
Disappointing for you though, because
well,
you would have wanted to come over here and show.
Because it meant so much, you know, it meant so much to me. I was at the height of my career as a jockey, and I felt that I'd made the transition from the South Island, deep in the south, to the north, and they said, oh, you've got no chance of expecting to do as well as you did in the north as what you did in the south. Well, then that spirit gave me a bit of, thought, well, I'll show them. So then I was leading jockey that year and continued to be leading jockey in, I was 9 times leading rider. 9 times. But that was always a bit of a bug with old Arkworth. He just couldn't find form.
One horse that could always find form was Great Sensation.
Great Sensation, he was a very difficult customer.
Spooky?
He was a spooky sort of horse. He was a bad horse in the barrier. He was barred in one of the, I think it was a Trentham Stakes one year. They barred him because they couldn't get him into the starting gate. And he was a hard-pulling, tear-away type of horse. And I couldn't actually ride him in his track work. It was too strong for me to ride him in his track work. And I can recall one day in his, well, I think it might have been his first Wellington Cup. We're going out past the winning post into the back at the mile, and I couldn't hold him. I was buried in the field about, just in front of midfield, and the horse is steadied in front, and I tried to steady him, and it was just like pulling against a brick wall or a concrete post. I couldn't steady him. And I was getting to the stage where my arms were just numb. There was no feeling in them. And I'm thinking to myself, what can I do? So I thought, well, listen, mate, we know one another reasonably well now. Look, settle, relax. I started to talk to him, oh boy, steady. And I relaxed my hands on. And all of a sudden he took a step forward and he was going to go up onto the horse's heels ahead of him. And then, all of a sudden, he said, oh, relax. And he took a step back. And from that point onwards, I didn't touch that horse's mouth. I relaxed and talked to him, and he just stepped back off that horse in front. He measured his stride with the horse ahead of him. The horse quickened, he quickened. The horse stood there, steadied, he steadied. And then it got very, very tight at 1,000 metres, very tight, and I sort of had nowhere to go. Things were coming back on me. And I just eased him out, and there was just a gap that he got his head in. Went into the race, and from that point on, that was how he won 3 Wellington Cups.